restarted. I did not let myself die.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
We're gonna run through this one more time, and then I'm gonna call it quits. It's probably
Stanley went around touching every little
content.
thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Input received. I'm pushing buttons, man. Cut me some slack, narrator. You know this is how I roll. Me and you have done this. How many times now? A lot of times. You should know me.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Going left. Not because he said so. Because I wanted to.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
I made the
Feeling a
decision.
wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he might
let's
find
go
an
up there.
coming to a staircase, Stanley
Let's
walked
go
upstairs
to
his boss's
Let's
office.
find out what's going on. Will we ever find out what happened to these people? Ever? Hello. Hello, elevator that doesn't go anywhere. You're my favorite.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural retching of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor, he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could it mean? Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's future? Alas, it was not. For although this keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope to guess it. 28. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Yeah.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
I feel like I'm in the 90s. Please, I don't want. Can you open the thing?
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated,
No.
Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened
Soothing about
passageway.
it. There was nothing soothing about it. Let's go to freedom, but not to freedom. To turning on the machine. To turning off the machine. To escaping and going backwards. To more choices or so. I don't even know. This game is so weird. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. How am I supposed to feel about the Stanley parable?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I went this way. You can't tell me what to do.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Are you sure?
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Okay, let's turn around and get back on track then. We can do that. Let's go.
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
Yeah. Stanley's a smart guy. Push a button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Push the button.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Look at all these monitors.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
That one has an error code. That one had an error code.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Nah, we're cool.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Maybe. Blind right now, that's for sure.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I want to push the big red button. Never lets me push the big red button. Ooh, scary! Push! Waiting input. Let's turn it back on.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place. Oh, Stanley. You didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Yeah.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that.
I will.
I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
No.
It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going.
I don't...
What all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
Yeah.
A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them.
Okay.
I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock.
Oh,
Why
please
not?
do.
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off?
Yes.
I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten?
Yes.
Won? Solved?
Yes, I
Do you
do.
have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Oh God.
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment.
Oh God, it's broken.
But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
No,
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces.
No.
Will you cling desperately to your frail life? Or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Wait, what happened? Where? Well, yeah. So, that was, interesting. In fact, all of this was very interesting. Some of these endings are very weird, and I know there's more to find. It's quite miraculous, and they, for what it is, and it's definitely something, for what it is, they did a good job with this game, and I really actually like it for as quirky and different and strange as it is. So, yeah, that's the Stanley Parable in a nutshell. I do highly recommend you guys pick up this game. I really do. Because as you've seen, it's very weird, and watching it is one thing, but actually playing it and getting the experience, that's definitely different. So who knows, I may do more Stanley Parable in the future. But until then, thank you guys for watching.